If you've ever gotten to the end of editing a photo in Lightroom only to realize you've made an absolute mess of it, it's probably because you were too heavy-handed. You see, most photographers, when they start out using Lightroom, don't really know how to use all the tools properly to make subtle adjustments that will really make their photos shine. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact methods and tools that will help make your photos look absolutely amazing. So we're gonna get into it right now with this photo that I took last summer of a surfer here in Jamestown, Rhode Island. It was sort of close to sunset. You can see a little bit of golden glow. It was definitely during golden hour. And I could really come in here and just make an absolute mess of this by cranking up the vibrance, you know, using too much saturation, coming in here with way too much contrast, but we know that that's not going to make it look good. So what do we do? Now, in this case, I actually think that this photo was exposed very well. One of the reasons I know that is because I can look at my histogram and see I am not clipping anywhere on my blacks or on my whites, and I've got this nice arc right in the middle. So it's a very well exposed photo. I'm actually not going to touch anything with the light, but I am going to show you some magic tools that you can use. Now, I've made a slight adjustment here to the curves already, and if I turn this off, you can see what it was before. It was a little bit washed out, a little bit less contrasty, and with it on, I have a little bit more contrast, and I haven't overdone it. So instead of using the contrast slider up here, I tend to come in and just use curves. I put a nice drop right somewhere in the darks area right here, just below the line, and then I lift it just slightly in the highlights area right here. So it's got a very subtle S curve. Subtle is the key. The next thing I'm going to do is just check my white balance. I think this is actually pretty good. I mean, I could just slightly increase that to maybe, you know, here. I don't want to go too far. With the vibrance, I'll punch it up just a little bit, but again, not much. Maybe 14 or 15. That's where I'm going to leave it. Now, let's talk about drawing your viewer's eye towards your subject. There's a couple of different things that we can do. We can do that through light. We can do it through color. I'm going to start with color since we're here at the color mixer, and then I'm going to take us into the masking section to work a little bit with color and light. So the first thing I can do is to drop the luminance value of the blue color, and you can see what that's doing as I drag this back and forth. It's already darkening the water around our surfer, and if I turn that off, you can see it's just a little bit lighter. Turn it off and on, you can see it draws, and I think I'm going to darken that even more, especially here in the foreground. It's making a really big difference. I'm going to hit M on my keyboard to go to masking. This is where I love to play, especially when I have a photo that's already well exposed. So the first thing I'm going to do is I notice that up here along the shoreline with these rocks, it's fairly saturated, not too saturated, but a little bit more saturated than I want. Got some bright areas up here, so I'm just going to hit I'm going to hit L on my keyboard for linear gradient. I'm going to drag down from the top, and I'm going to catch most of those rocks back there. I'm going to start with bringing down the exposure just slightly. I don't want to overdo it. If I do it like this, it just looks a little bit unnatural to me. So just slightly. And then I'm going to drop the, I don't think I need to drop the whites so much, but let's play with the saturation. I'm actually going to drop that quite a bit. Probably actually around 50%. Now, I don't want to lose all the color like this. That definitely looks unnatural, but somewhere around 50-ish is going to look good to me, just to get some of that saturation from drawing our viewers' attention to the edges of the frame if we reduce the saturation, we draw our viewer's eyes closer to what is well lit and well saturated. So if I turn off that color adjustment for a second and then bring it back, you can see the difference there. So already starting to look better. I'm going to make another linear gradient starting from down below. And the reason is, again, kind of like creating a vignette, I want to reduce some of the exposure here. We've already done that a little bit with the blues, but I'm going to maybe about there, just 0.20. And again, a little bit on the saturation, but not too much here. And we're just trying to get the viewer's eye to look closer to our subject. And if I turn the mask on and off here, you can see what that looks like. So this is off, this is on. It's already drawing our viewer's eye closer to the subject. Let's talk about the subject. Speaking of the subject, going to click create a mask and subject. And Lightroom does an absolute phenomenal job. I really don't think I need to do much more here. And there's not much more I want to do with the subject, but look how good of a job it's done selecting our subject. Now I want to punch the whites up just a little bit because the waves are already looking good, but I want to brighten those up slightly along with our surfer. Again, not too much. And I'm just kind of dragging the slider back and forth to see what's too much, that's too much, probably around there. And if I turn that off and on, you can see very subtle, but it's made a big difference. By the way, if you enjoy what you're seeing here and you want to ask me questions live, join our membership if you're not already part of it. I record regularly these edits live, and as a member, you can ask me questions directly during that live stream. It's for members only, so you can ask me anything that you want. If you haven't done that already, just go to my homepage for YouTube and click join, and you'll see some options there for the membership. But if I go back to the editing section, which I'm in right here, I use my backspace key to show where we've been and where we are now. Look at the difference. This is a lot more washed out, some more colors in there, and this is a lot more focused on our subject. Now, a couple of last things I'm going to do just to make sure that we're really punching this up to where we want. I must have made some edits in this before. I had the clarity before at 0 and I put it at 10. If I drop that down, it makes a slight difference, especially up in the rocks. Again, I don't want to draw too much attention to that, but I do want to put a little bit of clarity on our subject. And same thing with the vignette. I talked about having a vignette. This is without the vignette at 0. If I go back down to where it was around 4, actually maybe even a little bit more than that. I like that, -6. Really sort of closes in on our subject. And I've already added some sharpening, as you can see here. You'll notice that with the masking, I have it up at 53%. Now, why did I do that? Here's why. If I hold down Option on Mac and Alt on a Windows or PC, and I click, you can see that if I drag it, it's showing me what's going to be affected by the sharpening. So if I don't want to sharpen everything, and I just want to sharpen everything around our surfer and some of the water, some of the ripples, then I'll let it go there. And that's it. Now, if you want to learn some really awesome tricks that you can use to edit your photos and really make them pop, you'll want to watch this video right here.